Hurry all units, Bishop. Seal off the ground area, set up an overhead sweep. Stand back! Don't try to move him! All files.
Destruct sequence operative.
Damn you, Andreas. Cancellation. Confirmed.
Deletion confirmed. Still don't move. Files deleted.
Thought you'd run off for good.
Hey, how about a little flutter? Now, if I win, I get breakfast. Not just the continental job, the whole lot.
Yeah, and if I win, can you pay?
Money, money. All you ever think about's money. Actually, I've got money. I just pretend to be poor so you'll love me for myself alone.
I find paying bills makes a man seem really sexy.
Now, that's the best argument I've heard yet for an honest day's work.
We had a bit of trouble after you were here last time. A couple of hippies asking after you. You've been dancing with someone else's wife.
You know me. Always in demand.
They look like trouble.
Yeah, there were trouble. Whoever they are.
What, you don't know?
No idea. I just try to keep one step ahead.
Right. None of my business.
It's the trouble with truth. No one believes it. All right. Watch very carefully.
Tremendous tragedy today for New Zealand's thriving agricultural development industry.
I'm standing outside the BioBright New Zealand office where Dr. David Typhon was gunned down before making what was expected to be a major announcement. Dr. Typhon was regarded by many as one of the architects of a new biological order. And from the very beginning, his career was clouded with controversy. Suggestions of experiments which involved human beings led to investigation and severe criticism. Dr. Typhon chose to leave Britain, together with his fellow researcher Zachary McGill, to join the establishment of a BioBright subsidiary at Etna, New Zealand.
Zachary McGill returned to Britain, where some years later he was the victim of a mysterious shooting. Dr. Typhon, the surviving genius of the radical BioBright team, continued to work with cytologist Ainsley Starling, but he had recently become something of a recluse in his research station at Etna. His latest research is widely believed to focus on the problems of infertile couples, whose increasing number...
Family portraits, love.
Yeah. The shabbier of the two has the honor of being my papa. That's to say, he had the honor prior to someone blowing his head off. The other one's, Hell's teeth, it's going again. God's fingered me, Annie. This time I swear to heaven I bloody well will find out what's going on. Seen the Irishman around lately?
Can you afford a passport?
I'll raid my piggy bank.
Hey, what about your breakfast?
Live dangerously, Annie. Eat it yourself.
Delete all files.
Destruct sequence operative.
Damn you,
you, Andreas.
All gone. There are no backup tapes or discs. He must have spent years setting a cancellation like that in place.
Our people can recreate most of it, but what we really need are the Chimera files. They are absolutely essential to us. We have to send someone in to find them. A computer wizard. A lateral thinker. When do I go? At once. You can catch some sleep in the Singapore apartment if you have to. We need a high-level presence at the memorial service. It's a good cover. We have to issue a statement. BioBright International is shocked at the assassination of its inspiration, David Typhon. A man who contributed so much to the science of genetic engineering. We are all of us indebted to him for his life and saddened by his death. BioBright is confident that the New Zealand authorities will do everything in their power to arrest and convict the person or persons responsible for this heinous crime. No, for this heinous crime against humanity. And will cooperate in every way in the investigation.
Dear God, Andreas. Who did it?
Get on to Etna. Control the damage.
Your hand on that pad on the front of my desk there.
It won't identify me. I've never been padded.
We have a record, Mr. McGill, from 20 years ago.
Let me see.
We need identification, Mr. McGill. After all, you want to walk out of here with a lot of money. We have to be quite sure we're giving that money to the right man.
Well, there can't be too many McGills called Cato.
I see you're withdrawing your entire investment. Does this mean Dr. Starling will be closing off payments?
Where did you get Starling from?
Money's been paid into this account under the signature of Dr. Ainsley Starling for quite some time. From New Zealand. Weren't you aware of this?
Well, I've been, you know, mobile. And I haven't needed it. At least up until now. Is that the last one?
Yes, that's it.
Right. Well, must fly. Thanks. I'm running towards, not away from. Not this time round. Hound, not the hare. Miss Meyer, Tertius. You worked in Etna with David Typhon for several years. Your area is genetics, human genetics.
Developmentally incorporated gene expression studies. You know what that's like.
Do you have any idea what Typhon was going to say? Well, after all, he did call a full-scale press conference.
Just suppose Typhon was killed because of whatever he was going to say then. I'd be silly to suggest I could say it too, wouldn't I?
This is security headquarters, the safest possible place.
Safe for whom?
No melodrama, Miss Tertius. We are certainly not Typhon's assassins. I suspect you know more about the circumstances surrounding this assassination than I do.
Are you accusing me? I was standing right behind Typhon at the time.
Oh, I don't say you're killing yourself. Excuse me for just one moment, please.
We brought one of them in, sir. Dead.
Well, we need the assassin who can talk. Find him.
Her, sir. Young female. The man's in the morgue awaiting identification.
Good. Good. Miss Tertius, is there anything else you'd like to say to us?
Nothing. And anyhow, the kids are tired out.
I take it their families have been informed.
Oh, yes. No one on this side of the fence believes it, but we're very strong on family in Etna.
We're extremely concerned about the apparent destruction of some vital files. In fact, a whole set.
Are you telling me there's no viable backup for the entire Biobright system?
It was a particularly hostile cancellation. It included all the backup.
I've been informed it looks like willful damage from within Biobright, so that makes it entirely your responsibility.
Denzel, tell Mr. Harrington that that is a singularly convenient allegation.
That's my information to date, convenient or otherwise. Remind Mr. Andreas that Biobright computer security is not our concern, whereas David Typhon's assassination is.
So who killed Typhon? We're assuming there's some connection between the assassination and the destruction of the files.
And don't worry, we've got a unit on its way to Etna.
Denzel, remind Mr. Harrington that within Etna, Zone Scarlet has ultimate immunity. It has foreign embassy status, upheld by the signatories of the latest multinational protection agreement. Zone Scarlet and everything in it, including its resident staff, belongs entirely to Biobright. And we will remind the minister ourselves.
Remind Mr. Andreas that the day-to-day administration of Etna is the responsibility of the New Zealand government, and murder just happens to come under our jurisdiction. In these circumstances, we are empowered to take control of Etna.
But not Zone Scarlet!
Anything you need, Mr. Vogel?
No, thank you. Just a meal and a few hours' sleep. Then New Zealand, here I come. Is there something else, Mr. Yan?
No, sir. Sleep well.
Locate Chimera files. Initiate early shutdown of Zone Scarlet.
Too late to ask you what the Chimera file is, I suppose. Hmm?
Now, may I help you with insurance, sir?
No.
Very well, that's just the first class ticket through Singapore and straight on to New Zealand. You don't have a credit card, sir?
Must have left home without it.
Do you mean you're pulling BioBrite out of New Zealand?
Well, one can farm in the city these days. All this business with Typhon has just pushed it forward a little.
And does the New Zealand government know you're planning to relocate?
Oh, shush.
You're overreacting.
No. But who needs green pastures when you have all this lovely technology? Those units can be grown in batteries right next to our markets. No more expensive transportation costs. It's simple economics.
And what about my family at Etna? What happens to them?
You don't have to worry.
Did Typhon know you were planning to move on? Is that why he died so conveniently?
Don't you trust me?
You'd despise me if I did.
Please. Let me idealize myself a little.
Well, you do flirt with vindictiveness from time to time.
I won't swear by anything. There's nothing in the world worth swearing by. But I did not have David Typhon killed.
Really? So who did then?
Perhaps Vogel can tell us that. After he's found the files. I just don't believe that Typhon canceled his own immortality as much as he wanted to destroy me.
He was certainly manipulative.
Well, he dangled you in front of me like some priceless work of art. And I bit, didn't I? Never mind. Let's eat.
It's, no one we know, is it?
This Denzel is pure gold. It is meat, not a meat substitute. Real tender meat. But not from any ordinary animal.
Good news for the starving millions.
If they can afford it.
You do look like Vogel from a distance. Your first payment is in your account.
I know.
Now you must move fast. It's a very confusing time for BioBrite, and we must capitalize on it.
They've lost some critical files. And they're going to shut down Etna. Fast enough?
You think you can get into Etna and find those files? Well, don't be distracted by anything personal. Revenge is bad business. And old-fashioned.
Some things never really did. It's an old family quarrel you are counting on, isn't it?
Don't underestimate Andreas.
Once burned, twice shy.
Announcing departure of Singapore Airlines
Have a nice flight.
SQ39 to Wellington, New Zealand. Now boarding through departure lounge gate number 12. Kepergian penerbangan Singapura SQ39 ke Wellington, New Zealand sekarang melalui pintu nomor 15.
This man from somewhere. He worked for BioBrite, I think.
I do imagine.
No social security record, no record of work permit or tax number, no medical history at all, not even a registered birth.
You're certain?
If he'd have ever gone through any hospital in any country in the world, he'd have been well and truly documented and lectured about, I assure you. His blood contains, not to get too technical, it's full of antifreeze.
Antifreeze?
But natural, not synthetic. You get the same thing in Antarctic fish.
So let me get this straight, Dr. Kennedy. You're telling me this man differs in some fundamental way.
Let me put it this way. He's got the kind of blood I'd expect to find in a merman.
Those genetic designs of Typhon's have brought in hundreds of millions of dollars over the years, and his work was his monument. He wouldn't have completely deleted it, not even if he was in his death throes.
Our advice, Minister, is that it's probably in the system somewhere, but encrypted. We need experts to advise us.
Well, Barbara is sending out a systems expert, a man called Vogel. He may solve that one on our behalf.
Under the circumstances, we could use some independent advice.
Dan, you're letting your personal anxieties interfere with your professional judgment.
It's justifiable to be concerned about the ethical parameters of this kind of research, Minister.
You're the head of security. Security isn't determined by ethics.
Ethics influences security in this instance. Listen. There are 150 protesters at the main gates of Etna. It's a known factor. But then Bayreuth has its own internal security. That zone scarred right inside Etna. Now, believe me, Minister, it's there to hide something. You know it, and I know it. What we don't know is just what it is hiding.
There's always been rumors about Etna. There always will be. Firebright has to protect itself against industrial espionage, so it closes its gates. Closed gates invite wild gossip.
You wouldn't want an opposition spokesperson to be proved correct, would you?
Hello? No.
Well, did you see the children Typhon brought with him? Aren't you worried he might have put us at risk internationally?
I'm sure David Typhon was too professional to violate the United Nations guidelines, and too cautious.
We'll know soon. I've sent a team to Etna.
I'm assured, Mr. Andreas, we will not violate Zone Scarlet. But understood. David Typhon himself was a man without a family. Yet, in one sense at least, we, all of us gathered here today, are his family and his heirs. And he has left us the power to change the world, to change it boldly and to change it for the better, to make ourselves the masters of our own destinies as never before. Of course, David's work has sometimes been seen as being in conflict with nature. But to deny ourselves the right to change things is to deny our own essential essence. For change is our business. When David Typhon came to New Zealand, his dreams for this new science of genetic engineering were nothing more than dreams. But he came here to challenge the injustices of nature by changing the rules. To be our champion in an ancient tournament with nature. His dreams became our dreams. And many of his dreams have become our reality. As we make two blades of grass grow where one blade grew before, we will remember David Typhon. He was the spirit of Bayreuth, the magician whose metamorphoses have added so much directly and indirectly to all our lives. He was the catalyst that proved that a private company with a government like ours can cooperate to produce not only a profit, but to fulfill an ancient ideal. Better lives for more people. And so today it is David Typhon we thank and remember. David Typhon who gave so much and had so much more to give had he not lost his life in such tragic circumstances. And today we join together to bid him farewell, St. George, who fought the dragons of despair, starvation, and ignorance.
Here's the David Typhon, the heartless bastard. They all had souls, David. They all had souls. And so did you.
It's not settled. It's not settled. It's not settled. It's not settled. Hillary, have a join us. Granny Science and Jean Butcher. It's not settled. It's not settled. It's not settled. It's not settled.
Minister, my name is Vogel. I'm from Bayreuth Industries.
Please stay here, Maya. Please, Maya.
I told you, Adam wants you home.
My Clark wants us home. Shut up and eat now.
Hey, kids!
It's the stolen one, isn't it?
You like the way he looks?
I haven't got time to think about that right now. The thing is, Ainsley, there are a lot of sharks circling out there. They smell blood. Swim carefully.
Mr. Vogel, I'm Hilary Gladstone, opposition spokesperson for Women's Affairs.
Ah, yes, Miss Gladstone. Though I seem to remember you are a critic of Bayreuth rather than a fellow traveler.
An enthusiastic critic. At any rate, we might find ourselves dealing together rather more formally in a month or two.
After the election? Oh, but that is such a long time to wait. I'm prepared to sup with the devil, especially when the devil chooses such a charming advocate. There's a restaurant over there. I don't have much time, but funerals make me hungry.
Well,
you can go.
So you've come at last.
Yeah, it's great to see you too.
David would have enjoyed it. They were all here, you know. The minister, of course. Friends, enemies. But I was the only one who cried for him.
Yeah. When you came on, the whole thing came alive.
Not many people remember now how much David meant to me.
Yeah, I'm sure he meant a lot to me too. I just don't know what.
Do you think that Andreas arranged Typhon's death? You wouldn't have wanted David to say anything. I think that's his man you're watching over there. Andreas invented Etna, but Typhon and Zachary invented Zone Scarlet. I had my little bit to play then, too. I hope you took full advantage of my little gift.
Look, I'll get back to you later, then I'll answer all your questions.
Come to my house, but you better come separately, in case we're followed. Look, here's my card.
Great. Thanks.
Don't lose it. Perhaps the witching hour.
So what new ventures do you have planned for us? You're not going to convince me that Bayreuth's up to something wonderful for our health and happiness.
Hasn't your country benefited from our company?
No. Your company has prospered thanks to our agricultural resources. But I don't want to argue about that now. What I'm curious about are the repercussions that Typhon's death is going to have on Bayreuth.
Do you think I would tell you our secrets?
Not for a moment. But I'm very good at reading between the lines.
Well, speaking very confidentially, Miss Gladstone, Bayreuth looks to the future, and Etna, now that Typhon's gone, seems to belong to a past regime. We have to move on. I'm here to initiate the Bayreuth shutdown.
So there is something dangerous, something illegal going on at Etna.
Now, that is an area on which I really could not comment.
Why are you telling me this?
That's my business.
Why should I believe you?
That's your business.
I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Do I know you?
No, it's your friend I want to talk to.
What do you want?
Lunch. I'm starving. Oh, you go ahead, then. Now, you work for Biobride, for a man called Andreas. So you can get me into Etna, right?
I don't think you have the right credentials.
Well, I know the story of Typhon. See, Typhon was the father of all monsters. The Hydra, the Chimera.
What do you know about the Chimera?
What are the Chimera?
Is Dr. Ainsley Starling still employed by Biobride? Could you put me in touch with him?
Dr. Starling?
Dr. Ainsley Starling, one of Typhon's cronies way back. I want to talk to him.
May we ask your name?
Sure. K.J. McGill.
For your information, Mr. McGill, Dr. Starling is a woman. She was the one howling over the body at the funeral.
That was Dr. Starling. Dr. Ainsley Starling?
What's left of her? She's hardly a practicing doctor these days. Look, I think we've been more than patient. If you,
Well, time and cake wait for no man. Oh, you're a wonderful cook. Marry me at once. Hey, I was asking her, not you.
Andreas, you are doing so well.
Hello? Is that you, Vogel?
Get me Andreas.
Vogel, why haven't you reported back before this? Why can't I see you?
I don't know. Must be something wrong with this unit. I went to Typhon's funeral today. Guess who showed up to pay his last respects?
No one from Zone Scarlet, I hope.
Gato McGill.
What? How?
He was asking questions about Ainsley Starling. He's actually spoken to her.
Vogel, I don't think any good can come from this association.
It's too late now. They've already made contact.
It's never too late. I have friends in low places.
You know, Mink, I cried. I was the only one.
You're mad. Do you want to call attention to us?
Oh, I could do with a glass of champagne. David would have liked it that way.
Ainsley, there are people out there looking for me. The same people who killed Zeno. He was the first one I've known to die. He's my other half.
Well, if I'm not going to get any champagne, how about a nice cup of coffee?
File search completed. Search aborted. No file exists. Processing request. Request denied. Alternative file request. Session terminated.
How's good?
Dan? Dan?
I want a word with you, Dan, off the record. I heard something about Etna today. I want to give it to someone who uses it well.
Look, I'm sorry, Miss Gladstone. I'm snatching some time with my family. I'll be back in the office at 10.
God.
Story?
Boo. I didn't do it. I found her like that.
Jehovah's Witness? It won't hold. Get out!
Hey, look! Give me a hand on the door!
Get out. I'll blow his head off. I mean it. Now.
Out!
Move! This way! Someone get upstairs, cover the front! Get after them! Give them the time!
Anyone who gets in our way will have the driest hair in New Zealand. You know you're very good at this. Whoever you are.
Maya!
Gil!
Who's after us? Hey, watch it!
Mink, hold on, I'll get you to Etna.
She needs a doctor
She
now.
can't. We have to get her to Etna.
Etna. All roads seem to lead to Etna.
Dan, you promised me some time.
I see what's important.
I just want to check some facts with you. You don't have to shut the door, Dan. I've got no designs on your virtue. Look, I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but, I heard something today from a very reliable source. A rumor concerning some dodgy experimentation at Etna. Do you know anything that would justify a call for a public inquiry?
You know I can't give information without the minister's permission.
Suppose I had something to bargain with. Suppose I had informal information that BioBright's planning to go offshore in a matter of weeks, even days.
You actually have such information?
Like you, I'm limited as to what I can reveal. But yes.
God, I'd like to get him out of this country. As I'm sure you would.
Oh, come on, Dan. If BioBright pull out before the election, before we get in, that is, God knows what they'll take with them. It's no use us just moving in and weeping over the mud at the bottom after BioBright scooped the whole pool. I want to be in power first. I want to break the story in Parliament. I deserve that. But I need to work from the facts.
It's not actually your area of official concern, is it?
Yes, it is. Women are very focused on Etna at the moment. Including my sister, the famous protester. There are rumors galore about experimentation on children. Very peculiar pregnancies.
Etna denies experimentation.
Of course they do. They have to. David Typhon was about to talk. He was about to say something, and somebody shut him up. Dan, I am determined to have Etna completely New Zealand owned and accountable to the government. And now is the time to act.
You would put a stop to any unusual experimentation going on there?
Absolutely. It's far too economically dangerous anyway.
We are compiling a file on Typhon's assassin.
You've got the background.
No identification, but we're sure he's an Etna man. His physiology is, strange.
Can I quote you on this?
No.
File access? But there is a file. I could demand access on behalf of the New Zealand public. If there's any hint of irregularity, the public has a right to know.
Well, that's up to you. I couldn't possibly advise you.
Nice place you got here.
me. Listen, Ainsley Starling's dead and Link's been badly hurt. We're in number 3 warehouse, but we can't stay here. She did what she could to save herself, but she won't be able to take another step. Besides, I've got another complication, which... Oh, never mind about that now.
Zeno's gone.
Adam, I'll have to get back to you. What? Who's Vogel? Yes, I'll be careful.
I felt him go.
We all did. There was a strong resonance.
He was just there. And then he faded, and then nothing.
What's she talking about?
No questions.
Look, this girl needs a doctor.
No, just get me to Etna.
Well, as it happens, I'm curious about Etna myself.
Well, it's lucky you met me, isn't it?
Password valid. Zone gold. Access granted.
Bene.
Zone scarlet. Access prohibited. See also Chimera.
I believe. I really do believe.
K-I-M-E-R-A.
Downloading Chimera files.
Spelling mistakes.
Password required. Invalid password.
No.
Session terminated.
I didn't get a good look. They had guns that kept my head down. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. How could I forget a face like that?
On him? You sure?
Yes. Yes.
Well, we may not be able to do anything about Miss Tertius, but this is interesting. Find out who he is.
So Etna is this sophisticated agricultural research center?
It's a series of factory farms. All the research has a practical application.
And what's its produce?
Protein meat substitutes, hybrid wheats, grasses, other various things.
Starling used to work there with Typhon and my father. So then why has she been pushing cash in my direction every 6 months for the last 20 years? Kindness of heart? Guilty conscience? Say, am I the bastard son of some illicit passion?
Ainsley could certainly be sentimental about her early projects.
Project? See, the transfer of that money pointed someone in my direction. I knew I had money. Twice I tried to claim it. I was nearly picked off both times.
Well, that makes sense. Dollars flare like burning arrows at a word from somebody like Andreas.
And all this is because of something that happened back in the prehistoric mists. I know my parents were afraid something was coming down on them. We ran, we hid, we changed our names. And then whatever it was caught up with them anyway. Bang, crash, finito. Hey, look at me when I'm telling you my life story. That's the least you can do. So, what and who and why? And P.S. Who's the lady dying in the back of the Jeep?
Mink. My sister. And one of the people who shot David Typhon.
I wanted to talk to Typhon.
I can take you to where you might get some answers to your questions. In the meantime, why don't you help me paint the Jeep?
Why bother? Look, it's not going to deceive any professional for 10 minutes.
10 minutes might be enough.
Look, its number plate will be on someone's hot list somewhere.
We'll change it. Come on, McGill. You owe me something.
What?
Well, I got you out of Ainsley Starling's house alive, didn't I?
I got you out. Me and faithful old Betsy here.
Oh, who had the car keys? Who drove?
If you can call that driving.
Didn't we make a good team?
We're not a team. We're not even crosstalk comedians because you won't come out with the punchlines.
Okay. I think that the McGills were killed by BioBrite. And I think they were killed because when they left it, and they stole something that BioBrite wanted, and I think that BioBrite might still want it tidied away. They put a high premium on order.
Personally, I'm in favor of disorder. Well, here's a little plug for chaos.
You know, you've got a lot in common with that thing.
This is hardly an area for somebody with a portfolio of women's affairs. This is a highly technical domain.
This is an area for anyone who's concerned about the future of New Zealand. Contravening the United Nations guidelines on research carries a heavy penalty, as I'm sure you're aware. If we were to find ourselves with an embargo on our trade, for example.
This is blatant scaremongering.
With an embargo on our trade, for example, and a resulting recession, it is the women in New Zealand who'll be right up there on the front line. We want to know what it was David Typhon was about to announce. We want information on the man who killed him.
That information is not available at present.
And most importantly, we want to know exactly what it was David Typhon was experimenting with down at Etna. You won't give us this information because you can't give us this information. The answers belong to BioBrite.
Feel the heat, Andreas.
Vogel, are you there?
Yes.
Any progress?
It's a high-caliber penetration, deep access. There's a block I can't get into. Transgenic units, 1 to 20. They seem to be separated from the other transgenic units. Could you...
One of your few charms, Vogel, you don't normally ask questions. You just work with what you're given.
Yeah, I need to know exactly what I'm looking for. Are they using human gene clusters in any of these adjustments?
You know the sort of work we do. Would I live so dangerously?
Incidentally, there are some people here, people that matter, who are aware of your relocation plans. They're not very happy.
How can they know?
Well, I've been asked about it.
Go to Etna at once. God alone knows what Adam Prime is up to. And by the way, I'm still not getting your image. Your camera is still faulty. Fix it.
You're supposed to be a technician.
Problems? With McGill, this leak, and the fact that Vogel is a bit slow off the mark, it's a recipe for disaster. On my major investment.
You're planning to go to New Zealand?
Yes. But you can stay here. I don't want you corrupted by sentimental associations. Besides, this is your home now. I pay your keep.
But don't I own it?
Dear me, I thought I had your heart.
You were the one who brought money into it.
Yes.
Ah, up-and-coming politician caught floating over her own headlines. Getting stuck into Etna.
Just make sure your lot don't ruin all my hard work doing anything too radical. The last thing I need is my sister arrested at some demonstration.
Well, our protest was on telly last night.
You were on for a few seconds shouting some slogan. I got the chance to present a fully rounded argument. Look, all I'm saying is don't ruin things for me with too much fist shaking.
Good news for you then. I'm leaving town.
Off to Tahiti with a dark, handsome stranger.
No, I'm off to Etna. Gonna march around the walls blowing trumpets.
Look, breaking fences, hitting people with placards. I know, I'm sorry. I'm lecturing. Good luck, I suppose. Exciting, though, isn't it? Take care.
So let's ask a few of life's great questions. Tell me about yourself. When did you lose your first tooth? Your faith in God? Your virginity?
Who says I've lost any of those things? What about you?
Oh, I never had any of that stuff to start with. Couldn't afford it. I was born corrupt. My parents were poor.
Zach McGill could have stepped into a top job at any time. He was brilliant. Why didn't he?
Was he? Well, you know more about him than I do. You tell me. I don't remember him. All I remember is the hiding, the shifting, the changing appearances. At one stage when I was little, they dressed me up as a girl. Yeah, go on, laugh. I tell you, I was charming. That's why I empathize with women so well now.
Oh, do you? I hadn't noticed.
Oh, Lord forgive you for that lie. Mind you, they were good to me, my parents. Read me stories by the fire, that sort of thing. I suppose, looking back on it, I love them. Anyhow, they deserve to be loved. They didn't deserve... Look, maybe we should get back to that sister of yours, huh? We can't just leave her.
They didn't deserve what?
They didn't deserve to die. And the ones that killed them, well, it was me they were after. I heard them searching. But my father had made a hiding place for me in an old well. I stayed there for 2 days, then I came out and ran off, howling and starving. I've run pretty fast, too. No one's ever caught up with me.
Where did you go?
Into the jungle. Now you see me? Now you don't.
What jungle?
You know, the jungle. Up and down walls, in and out of windows. No credit cards, no fixed address, always give a different name. Always work for cash, always pay with it if you have to pay. Never sleep in the same place twice, or with the same person.
Sounds sad.
Yeah, well, the quickness of the hand deceives the eye. And the quickness of the foot confuses the follower. A few years ago, I made big bucks in a nightclub.
Waiting on tables?
Look, I'll show you. Of course, you don't get the full effect without the uniform. Now, just imagine, I'm dressed as a Marine, all right?
Go on, take it all off.
Never on a first date. Besides, you'd only despise me afterwards.
What's that down there? Those caravans, are you running a holiday camp?
Demonstrators. Mostly women from other crowds. They've made life mildly complicated, throwing themselves in front of the livestock trucks and so on.
Can't you roll them back?
Well, they're basically harmless. They always have a few tame reporters on hand. There's your escort. Have a nice day.
How do you do, Mr. Vogel? Dion Tertius. I'm sorry to be the bearer of a melancholy gift. David Typhon.
Thank you. Welcome home, David.
What is that?
Now on, you can find the Zone Scarlet. All Zone Scarlet restricted to Zone Scarlet. Andreas says, so now on.
That is where Typhon used to live, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it empty now?
No. Adam Prime lives there.
Ah, yes. Typhon's apostle, the remarkable Adam Prime. When do I get to meet him?
Adam's very busy. He has to monitor all of Typhon's programs as well.
What is this?
Zone Scarlet Computer Center. That's where you want to be taken, isn't it? Mr. Vogel?
Dr. Prime. Not quite. Typhon's death has left Adam with a quite impossible workload. He'll be with you as soon as he can.
Anyhow, your interest is in the computer system, isn't it? This is Angel Secundus, our Zone Scarlet computer guru. Come on. We'll take David home.
How long has this confinement order been operative?
Within an hour of Typhon's death, we were all called in. And Tarrington's boys are prowling around outside the zone fence. Did you know what Mink and Zeno were up to?
No. Why?
You were one of the ones who were worried about Typhon. Who wanted him stopped from boasting in public.
Identification, please. What part of England are you from, sir?
Oh, here and there. London, south.
Could you both leave the car here and come with us, please?
Me? Why? I'm just a tourist.
Just do as we ask, please, sir.
Look, we've got a sick woman in the back. We're not leaving her till we know just what provision you can make to look after her.
I think we can arrange some assistance there, sir. Now, may we have your car keys, please?
Look, we're virtually an ambulance. Do you think we're going to make a run for it?
It's been known to happen.
Our strength is as a strength of 10 because our hearts are pure.
Glad to hear it, sir.
Run a QP on.
Want to make a run for it?
How can we?
I gave him the keys to Starling's house.
They've broken through. Shall I call out a pursuit, sir?
No. We know where they're going. Have a car follow discreetly. We'll arrange a reception for them at Etna.
Maybe Angel could turn off the fence control and we could get out. Nobody'd miss us.
We'd never make it. Besides, Adam's managed to hold them off so far.
They've got Zeno's body. They'll work out where he came from. There'll be a public inquiry, and here we all are. Even though officially we don't exist. I hope Adam knows what he's doing. We're sitting ducks.
obviously saw Mink, and they won't want her vanishing back into Etna.
Hang on, have I got this wrong? Doesn't the government run Etna along with Firebright? I mean, surely they'll just grab her once we get there.
We'll have to get past them into an area called Zone Scarlet. It's Firebright territory. Once we reach Zone Scarlet, we're home.
Who's there?
I am. Me, Maya. Mink, lie down.
Oh, Maya, don't let me fade. Focus for me. Let me in. Catch me.
Hold on. Nearly home now.
Connect with me. Connect with me. Darkness. Fading.
I shall be back as soon as I've straightened everything out. Make yourself useful while I'm gone. But in a resigned, sort of miserable way, of course. Oh, no, wait until I've gone.
Clinic residence.
Your wretched intuition. Denzel, I'm not in a playful mood.
Take me home.
All right. All right. Clean yourself up.
What was that all about?
Don't get upset. It's over.
It's never over. That's what I know.
Now isn't the time.
There's something peculiar about me. I've known it for years. Not why it is, but just that it's there. It's in you too, isn't it? What's wrong with us?
There's nothing wrong with either of us.
But my parents were killed because of it, weren't they? Because of what I was. I live one life, and I dream another.
What do you dream?
I dream about searching for something. I've lost. Someone I need. I dream about tracking them through an endless maze. I don't know, a hive of some kind. With fire and water. But this time it was so strong. This time I actually found the body.
What body?
I turned it over and it had my face. It was me. I was looking at my own death.
It's not true. You're here. Real. Breathing. You can feel.
Do you dream that dream too?
Later.
This is a list of legitimate users. The times they clock in and out are recorded. Encryption is automatic and random.
You have systems manager status?
Correct. And special responsibility for Zone Scala.
You seem to have recovered a lot of data. How are you able to do that so fast?
Just lucky, I guess. No, really. When Typhon ordered the files deleted, I happened to be in the right place at the right time. We still lost a lot of information. It will take months for some of that to be recreated.
When I was in Wellington checking through things there, I noticed a file directory called Chimera, but spelled with a K. I believe this misspelling saved it from general destruction. A series of transgenic units, quite unspecific. They seem to be an isolated study. Ring any bells?
Sounds like one of Typhon's special projects. I don't know what passwords he used. He didn't record them.
Oh, come now. You live here, you worked with Typhon. Surely you must have some idea. Transgenic units. 1 to 20.
Aetna's entire business is transgenic units. We have literally thousands of them on file. Try for yourself. The system is yours.
It's madness.
It's not madness. It's to do with something undefined. Say a field. Certain people, those with the developed receptors in the brain, connect through it.
Is this an Aetna special?
No, everybody has receptor cells. Have you ever heard speculation about subliminal group memory?
Yeah?
Well, that operates at a low level through the same field. It's received and interpreted by receptors in the cerebral cortex.
Yeah? I don't notice too many other people receiving anything this way. Or is this another great world secret nobody's let me in on yet?
I told you, some of us have an enhanced response. You do, I do. Mink died, it affected the field, and we twisted.
Twisted?
We call it twisting.
We? You and who else?
Some of us in Aetna.
Aetna again. Where is this Aetna?
That's Aetna.
They've been following us for a while. I didn't want to worry you.
What, me? Worry?
Security control. Suspect vehicles now approaching perimeter. Over. Roger, guard tower. Please detain at main gates. Over.
don't think they didn't want us here.
Watch out for the ones that do.
They're not going to open the gate.
Is that right?
Boys, no government yobbos past this point.
When the moment comes, make for the house.
No. It's ridiculous. Wait, what do you mean they've escaped?
Well, they've escaped under Zone Scarlet.
Well, at least they can't get out. Welcome back, Miss Tertius. You're looking well.
Forbes, you're so predictable.
I like to give satisfaction. Now let's see who else you brought back with you, shall we?
I think you know very well.
Yes. I believe I do.
Don't you touch a hair on her head.
Where's McGill?
McGill?
We've had to withdraw all Zone Scarlet people back within the perimeter. We're asking you to stay there until further notice.
Asking me?
Well, ordering you. If there's anything you want, you just contact me. I'd be happy to give it to you.
Whose room's this?
David Typhon's.
Nice line in toys. Who is it I can feel in the air around me?
What do you mean?
Don't know. I feel someone very close in around me. Is this another part of your, resonance?
Later.
Later. Why do I think I've heard this song before?
I need some time with Adam.
Who's Adam? Boyfriend?
He's someone who could give you some answers. Trust me. You'll be safe here.
Well, lock the door and call me yours. Yep, me too. It's been a long, long day.
These graphics on the screen, it's really more of an angel than a good fairy, isn't it? So, Angel, you're the bright boy that showed Typhon how to raid through the Bi-Bright computer system. You gave him the command that wiped out the Chimera files. You set it up. You recorded the encryptions. You put these graphics in place. You played these games.
It gets slow around here sometimes.
Get me those files.
Mr. Vogel, it's never really mattered to me where the files are or who's got them. I merely did what Typhon asked me to do.
There's another system, isn't there? Quite separate to this one. Isn't there? There must be another system.
You're tired. Been working too hard. There's no other system.
You are lying. I know you could get those files for me, but you won't. I think I know where they must be.
I've waited long enough, Dr. Prime.
Mr. Vogel, may I help you in some way? My name's Adam Prime, Dr. Adam Prime, and this is my house.
Typhon said and twisted people, gone before us, Mystic children, gone before us, and your voices to the chorus. Unknown sisters, unknown brothers, make us Zealand and the others. Hear us call you, rise and see us. Sisters, brothers, help us be us. Typhon people, Typhon.
Lo, the works of Typhon are smoke. We are the holders of his wisdom. We must be adopted and go into the world and spread his word. And have a good time. And be stars. Just shut up. This is the serious magical part. For we are Typhon's people. All the ones under the stones are part of us. We stretch back to the beginning of time. We stretch forward like the shadows of a new day.
Remember, if you really want to shoot someone, you've got to load it first.
We just borrowed it from Typhon's room.
Stole it, really, but he doesn't need it anymore.
And things might get too dangerous.
First Typhon.
Then Zeno. Then Vink.
Maybe our turn next.
Be like me, huh? Keep a close watch on things.
Magic!
Nah, it's a trick. I'm harmless.
You don't look harmless.
We called on the brothers and sisters and suddenly you appeared.
But he isn't a spirit.
Have you got a name?
Cato McGill.
Wow.
Well, let's keep it informal, huh? You can just call me McGill.
It's him! It's him! Cato McGill, our favourite.
Your favourite what?
We're using you as an altar.
David Typhon has a computer system somewhere in this house. I want immediate access.
I am sorry, Mr. Bogle, but this area is off limits.
Not to me, Dr. Prime! I'm entitled to go anywhere I choose.
Anywhere but here. It's not anything to do with me. Andreas sets the rules.
I represent Andreas. I'm to have full access.
You are to have full access to the Etna supercomputer, and that's what you now have. There are no other computer facilities. And nobody is permitted here without clearance. There is no problem, Forbes. Mr. Bogle's leaving.
Just checking, sir.
Well, there's no curfew.
Yes, but it's my job, isn't it, sir? Got to keep you safe.
So now you've checked, yes? Good night.
Good night, sir. Sleep tight. Remember, I'm watching over you.
Need any further assistance? Check with Angel at the command center. Oh, Maya. I don't believe you've met Mr. Bogle from Zurich.
I noticed you at the funeral. I'm sorry we did not have the opportunity then, Miss...
Tertius. Maya Tertius.
I'm sorry you've had this inconvenience for nothing.
No, not for nothing, Mr. Prime. Meeting both of you, actually seeing you, has been a revelation. Even an inspiration.
Something bothering you?
Maybe.
I met Vogel in Zurich once. But that guy doesn't seem to recognize me.
You think he should remember you?
Dunno.
Aren't you happy to be home?
Adam, we have to get away.
No. Here in Etna, we're worth something. We're Typhon's people. I felt a resonance earlier. Was it Meg? Dead?
They're committing her now.
Cato McGill. This Cato McGill. Only lived a day?
Yes. Then Ainsley Starling stole a baby out of the sample stock and gave it to the McGills. Gave them a new baby, because theirs had died. One of the Chimera. There were only 2 in those days.
Real, but not as real as us.
And this lot? All these stones?
Ainsley Starling remembered every single unit Typhon generated. She donated gene sequences, and if the units died,
she put up stones for them.
Even if they didn't work out, she thought they still had soul.
Now they just feed them to the dragon.
Ainsley was scientific some of the time, but then she got sentimental about life.
You got Starling's genes and Typhon's. You worked out.
Only 2 of the primes went through to final configuration, and that was ages ago. The more up-to-date your configuration, well, the more real you have to be.
Simple, Pimple.
Final configuration? Look, just forget all this science crap. Let's get back to basics. Now, the McGills ran off with a Chimera baby, right? You telling me that I'm that baby?
You must be.
You know why Zeno and Mink did it? It was you. You told them to kill Typhon. Why?
Maya. He'd called a press conference. He was going to announce our existence to the world. He was an old man who was suddenly prepared to put fame ahead of family.
But why, after all these years?
Well, he must have discovered that Andreas was planning something. These days, you and Angel and I are au fait with his programs. Andreas didn't need him anymore. Neither did we.
But what did you expect would happen after the assassination?
Well, we expected we would get away with it. You're not pretending you were fond of Typhon, are you?
He didn't want us to be fond of him. If we've ever needed love, we've had to get it from each other.
So it's not just Typhon's death that's changed you? When you rang me from the warehouse, you said there were complications. And the buyer-bright man called me McGill. Maya? Did you dare to bring someone called McGill into Etna?
Password required.
Adam Prime.
Chimera Program 1, Prime. 2 units fulfilled. 90% failure rate, unacceptable. Attention, Unit 2, unintentionally released. Continue, yes, no.
Yes. Let's try Secundus this time.
Chimera Program 2, Secundus. 4 units fulfilled. 90% failure rate, unacceptable. Continue, yes, no.
Angel Secundus. Yes. Tertius.
Chimera Program 3, Tertius. 3 units fulfilled. 68% failure rate, unacceptable. Continue, yes, no.
Adam Prime. Angel Secundus. Maya Tertius. So obvious.
In there. Look what we found!
He's your twin.
I can't be welcoming. You've come at a bad time. What are we going to do with him? Hold on, brother. You don't have to do anything with me. I've just come to fill in a few personal details, like who am I? Who killed the McGills? Who's been trying to kill me? There's minor points like that. Someone's been trying to kill you? I've been on the run since I was born. Well, shortly after. You see? That's what our lives would be like out there. Andreas would hunt us down, one by one. He wouldn't want us running loose. And he's got the resources.
Well, he may have all the resources in the world, but so far he hasn't got McGill, has he? Besides, I think I'd rather take the risk out there.
Can't mean that. But if I were you, I'd run for it. You don't understand what we're talking about. Sure I do. You're wondering whether to stay here in Etna, cuddling up to all those security men, or whether to make for the hills. I'll take the word of a practiced coward. Just leave. Etna's our home. Oh, come on. This isn't a home. It's a trap. I'd know a trap anywhere by now. Just pull your hat over your ears and run for it. And live the sort of life you say you've lived. Well, at least I'm still living it. And I do enjoy it. Most of the time. Right. Are you turning your back on me?
I think he's right, Adam.
You seem to have convinced her very quickly. That's because I'm right. I've got work to do. You brought him here, so you look after him. And if you value him at all, keep him well inside the Zone Scarlet boundary.
Chimera Program 4, 4S. 3 units fulfilled. 53% failure rate, unacceptable. Demonstration models only, not for release.
I wonder if you know about this, children.
Continue, yes, no. Chimera Program 5, Quintas. Play promo 5, yes, no.
Yes. Concept for planned TV commercial. Promo 1, infertile couples.
And so they lived happily ever after.
But did they? Infertility ruins the happiness of many couples. Adoption and surrogacy are not the answer. You don't want someone else's genes.
Let BioBright create your own children, exactly as you want them.
With BioBright, you'll move beyond chance to choice.
Minister, Mr. Andreas.
Ah, magnificent. I love this city. So honest. But your mountains with snow on them, so pretentious. Minister, how nice to see you at last. Oh, I'm sorry. We seem to have settled in.
Be my guest.
Shall I send for some tea?
Apologies.
Please. Of course, I recognize Mr. Harrington. May I call you Dan?
You understand that Mr. Typhon's assassination has come as a shock to us, in more ways than one. And we're right in the middle of an election campaign.
I understand, and I appreciate your concern. Your government normally has done such a wonderful job in managing this part of the world, but here I am, just longing to help Mr. Harrington with his inquiry.
Good. And perhaps you can help by scotching some of the wilder rumors.
What might they be?
That you're planning to withdraw your buy-a-bride investment in Aetna. Naturally, we'd like to be reassured. Or at the very least, consulted.
Yes, I can see how such rumors would make you feel nervous. But tell me one thing. Who has been disseminating such novel information?
It's not true.
Well, what is truth, after all? So, Dan, how has your investigation been proceeding? Is there any way that we can be of any help?
Yes. Yes, I think there just might be.
It's like a hive.
Well, I'm warning you, we're not sweet, and we do sting.
See, the trouble is I'm curious. Well, at least that's part of the trouble.
Part of what trouble?
There's trouble.
Is he going to mate with her?
What are you children doing here?
Things are happening and no one's asking us what we want.
Well, truly, we are doing our best to look after you.
You can't even look after each other. Anyhow, we want to know what's going on.
So do I, dear God. So do I. We're all chimeras, right? So what the hell are chimeras?
A new species. A family of a kind.
Invented, not born.
Your children can achieve things you only dreamed about.
The future isn't just bright, it's bio-bright.
Return to research file. Yes, no. CF Typhon notebook.
Notebook. What notebook?
Harrington.
It's Fogel. Get me Harrington.
Sorry, he's not available.
I don't care where he is. I want to speak to him now. Notebook.
You claim this
He was one of the assassins. Yes. Thank you, Doctor. Do you recognize him?
How could I help it?
What is going on here? The resemblance between you and the dead man is remarkable. Would you object to a blood test?
I think even suggesting I take such a test is a violation of my rights.
Speaking off the record, but personally, I believe an irregular program has been conducted in Zeland where we have had no authorization. Any such program should be destroyed, along with its product. I think we understand one another.
I think we do.
autopsy.
Denzel has been working with me in Europe for the past 18 months.
Yeah, okay, I'll...
Besides, it's the responsibility of your administration to monitor and control the Etna programs. It is I who should be calling for an investigation.
I'll be my guest.
Yes, what is it?
Our phone, sir. It's urgent.
Take a break.
Nice try. But you won't get away with that.
Oh, you'll be surprised what you can get away with if you argue with sufficient conviction. Bullies often win. So, this is what you look like when you're dead. Strange. There's almost a mysterious enchantment about it.
Did you keep Typhon's personal effects, Mr. Harrington?
Yes, we did, but there's not much there, really.
What was there?
His remote, some keys, walking stick wallet, 2 rings, wristwatch, some spare change.
Is that all?
You seem to think that we're deliberately trying to conceal something.
I want your video coverage of the assassination of Typhon put on the circuit right away.
Be happy to do that for you right now. For instance, has anything in your investigation at Etna thrown any light on Typhon's death? I said I'd get authorization for that video to go on circuit now. Can you hear me? I said right
now. This time, I take what I need.
David couldn't resist the temptation to play.
What? Frankenstein?
He crossed species. It was prohibited research.
When Andreas found out what David was playing with, the idea really grabbed him, in spite of the dangers.
Because of the dangers. And of course there was the money.
And there are people who'd pay anything for a baby, particularly the right kind.
Like us, 100% effective.
So I'm a chimera. Right. One of Typhon's monstrous kids.
We all are. But monstrous? It's not as bad as all that. A chimera is merely an organism made up of 2 different kinds of genetic types. Say, man and fish.
Man and fish?
Plant and animal.
So what am I then? A killer cabbage?
There could be future advantages. Maybe people to work in the Antarctic winter as easily as they work here in summer. Natural antifreeze released into their blood. Bit of fish. Bit of fowl.
People with gills who can live in the ocean. People from Mars.
This ESP thing, resonance. Is that part of it?
No, that was never intended. It's funny, really. It's not programmed and not controlled. We think it's an inadvertent evolutionary jump.
Oh, well, hooray for evolution, then. But it hasn't done us much good, has it? I mean, I've been running all my life, while you lot have been standing still, penned up in here. None of us has had a great time so far.
He's right, and it's too late now.
No, it isn't. We can run away from Adam.
I don't mean Adam. I mean Bi-Bright might have to scrap the current product. Forget it. I'm probably just being silly.
What's through there?
Nothing that you need to worry about.
You mightn't like it.
I don't think it's a good idea. You need time, McGill.
Yeah, well, right now is the only time there is.
Developmental error. Developmental error. Delete unit. Yes, no. Deletion in progress.
Don't be misled by the sound. The process of termination we use automatically anesthetizes them. They feel no pain at all.
Termination complete.
You're needed here.
You would go into that room.
Yeah, well, I might just have overestimated my interest in truth. It's a bit like a social disease, isn't it? I mean, you take the risk and then you're sorry afterwards.
How about a row on the lake?
If you're planning to distract me with natural beauty, serenity, and sex, I'm afraid I've lost interest in a big way. Just tell me, if that baby back there was a relation of mine, I'm not sure just how upset I ought to be.
I promise you, it had no real identity.
Yes, it did. It was female. Dark hair. Oh, pity about the eyes, though. Incidentally, what color are my eyes? Dark. Oh, shame. Well, delete. That was our little sister we wasted back there.
No. We have her mapped. Brown hair, height and all. Phoenix shall rise from the ashes again. She's sprung from them twice already.
Adam Prime?
Adam, I'm here in Wellington.
Gentle.
What the hell's going on down there? I've had 2 strong resonance phases.
You've had resonance. I've always said the field had extreme extension.
Don't go into analysis mode. Just tell me what's happening. Who's gone?
Zeno first, then Menk, Starling too. Is Andreas with you?
He's in the shower. Listen, he's talking about closing down Etna. I don't trust him. So get everyone out.
We can't leave. Zone Scarlet's besieged. Vogel keeps trying to bully me, and Forbes and Clark are circling like vultures.
Look, I've got to go. Just get everyone out.
Was that Vogel?
No. Well, we know where he is. Let's go and find him.
Given Mr. Harrington's current stance, I think we should keep a little distance away from Etna.
Andreas, get the Chimera out. If Harrington finds us there, he'll probably classify us as experimental animals and have us destroyed.
I have to be careful. I have other programs at Etna which might be prejudiced. You remember that delicious steak we enjoyed together?
So get us out. If we're gone, there's no real proof.
We? Who is this we? You and I are the only we I am interested in. Oh, I forget. You report back to them. You're a spy planted by Typhon.
I was not so much a spy as a sacrifice.
A sacrifice? That's a grand word for a consumable product. Don't forget, that's what you are.
Never forget.
Come back. Denzel, come back at once. I didn't mean it.
Mr. Vogel, it's nice to be remembered.
I've got something to send through to you. Something which may help you embarrass the government. Speculative promos for a particularly debatable product.
Promos? Part of a marketing campaign.
Some future marketing plan, perhaps. Also, the product is highly illegal.
Done with government backing. Great, send it straight through.
Concept for Plan TV commercial, promo 1, infertile couples.
Mr. Vogel, why are you doing this? Won't publicity make things impossible for BioBrite as well as for the government?
Do you want it, or don't you?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it.
And so they lived happily ever after.
But did they? Infertility ruins the happiness of many couples. Adoption and surrogacy are not.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could just slide down into the mirror world? I'll tell you about a gutful of this one now.
You'll never understand.
No, I won't. God help me if I do. Today's been a day of revelation for me. I've often thought that I wasn't strictly human. Now I am. See, a true human knows that life's a mystery. But you lot, you play games with it, you make it do tricks, and then you just toss it out. You're desecrating something so...
McGill, life survives by exploiting itself. It overproduces, then tears most of its infant individuals to pieces without giving a damn about their pain. We've done away with all that. We've changed expectations. Haven't we improved things?
Angel, I need your help urgently.
I hope it's something devious.
It is.
Your children can achieve things you only dreamed about.
The future isn't just bright, it's bio-bright.
And what about this other business? A man with the blood of a fish.
Creature, for God's sake. A creature with an ailment in his blood commonly found in Antarctic fish. He may look like a true man.
isn't.
I'll make the information public, citing an unnamed source. I'm going to demand an inquiry.
I'll neither confirm nor deny. Concentrate on Dr. Kennedy, the pathologist. He'll try desperately not to make any sort of public statement, but I'm sure his anxiety will show through. He's an honest man. People will know that there's something that should be investigated.
You sure?
Quite sure.
You don't seem altogether happy about it. Remember, we are serving the same cause.
I've served several political masters over the years and in private often disagreed with their policy. But I've never betrayed the job until now. I don't like the feeling.
Dan, you're serving a greater loyalty.
Maybe so, Miss Gladstone. That's a little glib, too. I know when I'm compromised. Seal broken, all other doors locked. Security intact. Well, I don't suppose I have to look too far, do I?
I swear, Mr. Harrington, I kept to the...
No, not you, not you. Andreas, his damned secretary.
Have you located McGill yet?
Sorry, sir, we're still working on it.
And Vogel, where is he?
The computer center's where he is. But as to who he is, that's more of a problem.
What do you mean?
Well, any chance that Vogel isn't Vogel, if you know what I mean?
What?
Well, I've only met Mr. Vogel the once, just before you sent me here. But I've got a good memory for faces. He doesn't seem to remember me. Either that, or he doesn't want to.
Oh, that's very good. What a pity you burned the notebook. All those codes to all that information, all lost.
But it's not lost. We've read the notebook. And we remember the entry codes.
Really?
We can even take you into Typhon's laboratory, because we know the codes. We're really valuable. We're worth saving. If we show you the way into Typhon's laboratory, promise you'll take us away with you? Yes, to the city, in a place with a swimming pool.
I promise.
Is Vogel there?
Too late, brother.
Denzel? Denzel, where the hell are you? Oh, go on. go. But coming back will be much more difficult.
We aren't allowed down there without an adult, but we know where to go. And we know how to push the buttons to get in.
Just lead on.
David altered the password when he went to the city. We saw him write it down in his notebook because he used to forget things. He pretended he didn't, but he did.
Come on, let's go and get the kids.
That's right. Eliminate Vogel. If you can retrieve any files he's found, fine, but that's not the bottom line.
No problem, sir.
Also, I want you to document all of Typhon's people as unsuccessful cattle prototype and dispose accordingly.
There's people here that will remember them as something different from cattle, sir. It's a big cancellation.
Say that Zone Scarlet staff have been relocated. Then create a disruption. Make it a big one. And wipe the active element of the whole Chimera program. I want it clean. If Harrington's men get clearance to go in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, quiet in the studio. 6, 5, 4.
Good evening. There are serious allegations tonight that the New Zealand government and BioBright have been involved in research well beyond the United Nations guidelines on genetic engineering. There are claims that the New Zealand government is deeply involved in pioneering human birth technology at an unacceptable level.
Hey, Ali!
Including the development of a
the others. I think they're going to talk about it.
package engineered children for commercial release. With us in the studio is Shadow Minister of Women's Affairs, Hilary Gladstone. Ms. Gladstone, you seem to be accusing the government and BioBright of inviting UN trade sanctions. You also seem to be accusing them of immoral practices.
Immoral, illegal, and very stupid. The international reaction is inevitably going to be highly critical. There are members of the government who are fully aware of these illegal programs, who are aware that there's proof of my accusations pulsing in the very blood of certain workers in an area known as Zone Scarlet.
These are serious charges. I understand that you brought some evidence with you.
The tapes that I'm going to release are part of a proposed advertising campaign planned for the not-too-distant future. But I feel it's important that the New Zealand public sees them right now.
Concept for Plan TV Promo 3. Target, single male.
Men, if you're successful in life, if you can afford the things you want, why not buy the best? Choose a fine son for yourself. Bypass the problem of pregnancy and complications of power. BioBright is the womb of the future.
Let them get away with this. You get those guards and put them taking. Come on, ladies, this way.
That's the only way down.
Maybe we better go up.
This way.
Got you, Andreas.
They know us already. Yeah, clever. Our brothers and sisters. But we were the first.
The first? What about Adam and the others?
They were substandard. People want perfect children.
Where's the computer? That's what I want.
Through here.
Clark, come in, Clark.
Clark here.
Vogel's not here.
He hasn't been this way, but things are holding up out of the main gate.
I could probably get through the roof to the lift shaft and climb down from there.
What are you waiting for?
Return to the legitimate process.
Over the damn thing! What's that? Burn get the Ellie! Ellie, get the ladder! We're gonna go on the wire!
Security control, this is the main guard tower. We have a situation developing at the main gate. Please send back up.
This way.
Can you shut these things off?
Cloud, what are you doing here?
Vogel's going to take us away from Etna.
They would prefer a swimming pool to a lake, Dr. Prime.
This man means to hurt you.
But you hurt Typhon. You told Mink and Zeno to kill him. We were hiding in the stone maze. You gave them the gun. Just so you could keep us all here.
People will destroy you out there. Those that hate you will kill you. Those that like you will take you to pieces to find out how you work.
There's a backup to this system, probably disks. Can you find them for me?
This has got potential. Let's give the girls a chance.
What do you mean?
Andreas said disruption. Okay, we'll disrupt. We'll override the main gate instructions and let them in.
Once they're in here, who can say just what goes into waste disposal and who sent it there, eh?
Easy out at the main gate. Where's the troops? It's a bloody mess. These women are crazy.
Just pop over and push the lever in.
What?
Don't! Who are you? What do you want?
So curious. You're almost human. I'm Constantine.
Andreas's brother.
Half-brother.
The Biorite traitor.
Cheated me.
You were caught selling information.
I wasn't getting what I deserved. Now I am. Work faster.
We don't blame you for killing Typhon. We didn't tell Maya or anyone. But you were realer than him, just like we're realer than you.
Did you teach them that?
I've tried to give them a strong feeling about themselves.
Oh, well, it worked. But you forgot one thing. I'm the man with the gun. And right now, that makes me more real than any of you.
You're doing this for money?
Revenge.
Revenge? We are better than you.
You are nothing but biological tricks turned out for the meat trade.
Well, we're good quality tricks. Grant us that.
Go! Scatter! Don't hit him! No!
Now, give me the discs.
No, we're not helping you now. Because you killed Adam.
Give me the discs.
No!
Transference. Adam's pulled off the transference.
Transference.
Maya, he's hurt Silver. Claire, he's hurt Silver.
Get me something for her head.
You shouldn't have brought us back to Etna. We cost so much and now I'm damaged.
Taking the discs. Everything. We'll be heading for the helicopter. Meet me there. What are you doing?
These pictures are coming from our surveillance vehicle now.
Typhon. Did you arrange this? You'd love to see him destroyed. That's what's happening.
We don't have a lot of troops in the immediate vicinity.
Well, why aren't you there? Right there, now.
You remember, Minister, you insisted on a low-key operation. Army support's on its way.
They got a bunch of bloody women break through into Etna.
With help from inside, that's how.
Somebody's definitely got me on their sights. And how did that Ms. Gladstone woman get information on the autopsy of Typhon's assassin? And who's done this?
Mr. Andreas, perhaps.
Oh, no. That's a huge investment there, Ricky.
He was running an illegal program inside Zone Scarlet. He may want you to take the blame.
You're paranoid about Zone Scarlet.
Oh, Minister, I couldn't organize an assassin with such an aberrant blood group.
His body, I'm informed, has gone missing.
Damn, there's nothing here. What about the computers? We could get the discs. No, that's not the evidence we need. Let's get over to the house. Come on, evidence. There's something to remember inside.
Yeah, okay. We'll just have to be careful. Keep the shadow. Come on.
You? Let me pass! Where the hell did you go?
You're the Buy-Bright man. You're responsible for all this.
Get out of my way.
Life-hating bastard!
You are right. I am a life-hating bastard.
Oh, God, what's happening? Get an ambulance! Quick! Listen, he's been shot!
Just wait here.
Right, let's go. You're in the upper stairs. Go in there. But make sure you take lots of photographs. We need proof. And find those kids. Is there a doctor anywhere? He's been shot. They're going to pay for this. We'll burn the house. Some of our people are in there. Burn the house. Burn it. Get your hands off of it. Now that's enough. Come here.
Out! What the hell's going on here? Get out and stay out! Okay, okay.
Constantine,
Are you who I think you are?
we're all thoughts in the mind of God.
Who is this? My God. A whole line of toy boys. Well, it isn't going to happen. You know what I have here?
A brotherly heart.
Typhon's chimera fires. You see? I'm going to sell Andreas' secrets. I have destroyed Etna. And now I'm going to kill you.
It would be more elegant to let Andreas love me. I'm his chosen illness. I promise I'll eat him from within.
Too subtle. Revenge should never be perfect. And I know you people can be killed.
Indeed you do. You just killed me.
I did kill you.
Oh, surprise, surprise. We rise again from the dead, yeah?
Hold it right there. It would appear that Mr. Vogel is no longer a priority.
Orders from above, I think.
That means Andreas.
Come on, let's get out of here. Can we fly this thing?
I can fly it.
You were right. It was a trap.
And a cocoon. Now we're really going to stretch our wings.
Oh my God!
Going?
There's a man out there who can help us. We're off to find him.
Believe me, I hold Bybright responsible for this mess. And I won't hesitate to say so on television tonight.
Yes, I believe you.
I'm told this crisis had support from inside the gates.
Well, why don't you set up an inquiry? If there's anything left to inquire into.
Harrington's right. You are covering up. You're prepared to let the government take the blame. Did you leak information to Hillary Gladstone? There's an illegal program happening in Etna.
I'm losing interest in all this. You must go and face your public.
But I need answers.
My poor dear minister, haven't you realized yet? I don't have any answers.
Look, perhaps we can arrange to visit Etna tomorrow together.
Alas, I have to fly to Zurich almost at once, an unanticipated personal crisis.
Forensic haven't reported back on the samples we sent them.
Forget the samples. There should have been at least 3 children in Zone Scarlet. There was Zone Scarlet staff, but it's the children I particularly want. Where the hell are they?
Things are a bit confused at present, sir. They might have been caught in the fire.
Nah.
And this just came in.
Violation of the United Nations Charter on Bird Technology will result in long-term sanctions and make renegotiation of existing trade agreements necessary. Now, Minister, this sounds like an extremely expensive setback for New Zealand.
Well, indeed it is, but I've already called for a full inquiry into it. This government takes...
Great photo opportunity, Miss Gladstone.
So
don't make me look too bitchy.
I'm sorry to say, the late David Typhon have been conducting totally unauthorized programs.
That you have been irresponsible for not monitoring much more closely those activities. I mean, you were elected as the watchdog of the country, weren't you?
Well, that is true, but one has to delegate.
The government, you said, takes no responsibility for any prescribed work being done at Etna.
That's right. If it's prohibited, how can we take responsibility for it? We have
Makeup.
laws against it. Now we're going to get an
Yes, she is.
opportunity to find out if our legal fraternity are, as we consider,
Hello?
the best in the world.
Dan, listen, it's a bit difficult at the moment. I'm about...
No, it's not what you think, Miss Gladstone. This Etna debacle.
Yeah, I've been following it. I'm about to take part in a panel discussion.
Miss Gladstone, it's about your sister. Listen.
What's she done? If it's anything too stupid, I'll never speak to her again.
I'm sorry, your sister. She's dead.
Miss Gladstone. Are you still there? I'm sorry. I thought you'd prefer to hear from me rather than from a total stranger.
This riot at Etna. I understand it was sparked off by my interview. the advertisements and so on.
That certainly seems to have been part of it.
Are you ready, Miss Gladstone?
Gotta go, Dad.
Miss Gladstone?
Ready.
Not sure what sort of a welcome we'll get. I've been a little fickle.
Come on, he's a businessman. He'll want to save what he can from the wreckage. And we have something unique to sell. Ourselves.
Let's hope he hasn't changed at all codes.
And if he has, I'll pick the locks.
It's true. You're not Adam. Just don't give the alarm. That's all.
Adam Prime, I presume.
Yes and no.
Well, I suppose I should say I'm glad to see you're still safe.
There's a hollow ring to that.
Oh, believe me, it's all too true. I never meant that you should come to any harm.
Toll the bell for my brothers and sisters, and it tolls for me too.
Oh, you're such a work of art. Seeing you here now, I realize I can't live my life without you. I have suffered, and you know how I detest suffering. I never thought this could happen to me. I watched it happen in other people, but I always laughed at them. I thought I was immune. Now the joke's on me.
It's on both of us. After all, you were the user, the consumer, and I'm still nothing but a disposable commodity. An Aetna transgenic unit. Something ordered in.
Well, my dear, welcome to the human race, or as close as you'll ever get to it. You want to be one of us? Well, then you must accept our fate. We are all of us commodities in each other's lives. Husbands, wives, children, parents, whoever had a child for the child's sake. Oh, I don't deny there's such a thing as true love. But we expect too much from it. Why don't we just acknowledge? Why don't we just dignify our true status as commodities in each other's lives instead of slavering after romantic selflessness? Oh, all right. You were born, invented to be used, but it's the most human thing about you. You're lucky to be so usable. And of course, the most human thing about me is that I used you.
My God, an honest man. Not simple, but honest.
There's a message for you, sir. Pilot of a BioBrite helicopter. He's been wanting to speak to you for some time.
What's his problem?
He says his helicopter was hijacked, sir.
Oh, not surprised. It was absolute chaos there last night. Tell him we'll get back to him. Wait a minute. Check NC Starling, tell us the BioBrite building and the airport. Put a tail on Andreas. Yes?
You're really desperate to get away, aren't you?
Of course. And wouldn't you like your investment to pay off in the long run? We've got immense commercial potential.
I do have other successful investments.
You've got nothing like us. We're as close as you'll ever get to being God. And what if the United Nations should get wind of Zone Scarlet? The world will turn on you. It's deep in the human subconscious, the fear of Typhon's people. And if you don't take us, we'll be upset. We might create a terrible scene in public. After all, what's the problem? You want us gone, and we want to go.
I'm not the sort of man you can threaten into compliance. I may just cut my losses and fade gracefully into the sunset, Adam.
McGill, you've been looking for me for all these years. Here I am.
2 for the price of 1.
And who's trying to threaten you? We're trying to charm you. Aren't we, Denzel?
Are those the files Typhon deleted?
Still warm from the body of Constantine. Don't look on it as losing a brother. Look on it as gaining a family. Promise we'll be no worse than most children.
So I'm still ahead.
Now, we're ahead. We are. You want the Chimera files, yes? Well, we go with them. It's a great package deal.
You don't have much modesty, do you? I like that in an invention. But I rather think Harrington might argue that you are part of David Typhon's estate. He can't bear the idea of you, and I fear he is incorruptible.
Yeah, but you must know some man of power who'd sell his soul for you. And arrange a few passports?
Mr. Andreas, I believe your group is leaving the country illegally.
Well, you want to see our passports?
I'm not concerned with you. I'm more interested in your companions, the children in particular.
On what grounds?
They're products of Etna, and as such a government property.
They all have passports.
Mr. McGill.
You must be Harrington, the incorruptible.
I don't accept this transfer of ownership. We retain rights of possession. These children are relevant evidence in any case the Crown might wish to bring against Bio-Bright.
They'll delete me! They're going to delete me!
There's no need for all this. These people are leaving, Dan, now. You should be pleased. You've always wanted total control of Etna. Well, now we have it.
You're letting these people walk away. You're selling out.
Selling is a harsh word, Dan. But then every man has his price, as well you know. How much did you get when you told Hillary Gladstone that Typhon's assassin had such a debatable blood group? I'm going to lose my seat over this business, but until then, I am the minister. And I've given these people permission to leave this country. After all, I have to look to my future, don't I?
What if I refuse to play?
Meaning what?
This product is ungodly. What if I give the order to destroy it?
Product? Do we look like products?
What you look like is not what you are.
We're people, Mr. Harrington. Invented, not born, but people. We haven't committed any crime. We've just defended ourselves from those of you who were born, not invented. All the old safe definitions are changing.
God hasn't changed the rules of creation.
And the law hasn't changed, that you have sworn to uphold.
want to come back with you.
You think love conquers all?
Hell no. I think it produces an infinite capacity for surrender.
Having got you, it would be a pity to let you go.
You do command an empire. Stylish. Very now. Just might fit.
A risky business. I can be a dangerous man.
We can be dangerous too.
I think we might have a real talent for it. Particularly with you to show us.
So what's your game?
There's only one way to find out. Let's play.
Is it all like this? The world?
Well, let's see. Carpets, clothes, souvenirs, shops, cafes, signposts. Yeah, I'd say so.
You seem reconciled. With yourself, I mean.
Yeah, perhaps. Although there's a lot of things left unsaid between us.
I thought you said it all.
The things I said were said by someone who doesn't quite exist anymore.
I tell you what. Let's take a deep breath and start again. Move around one another slowly, see if our steps just happen to match. We may find ourselves dancing after all.
Seems fair. We might just have a good time trying, too. Although there's some old habits of mine I couldn't break, even if I wanted to. The world offers jokes more than it offers justice.
No reason why we shouldn't try for both.
Typhon stream and a brand new door, and the children lead the way. We're Typhon's people, don't let us fade away. We're Typhon's people, so beware the games we play. The magic power is Typhon stream.